Wherever there is a ridge line, wherever there is a possibility of we leading an attack, we taking an attack, they would have built bunkers and sangars there and tried to cut off that road. So every bunker, every sangar has to be cleared one by one until we reach the final objective. 4th July we set out for the attack. By 5th early morning, we reach a place where I set the first 3 bunkers of the enemy. And at the time I assess them, I see them, I tell to myself, Naveen, if 100 people move together, obviously that surprise element will be lost.
I would request you all to please give a huge round of applause to these strong women, an epitome of grit, courage, grace, extraordinary strength and determination.
When I heard the news, I was totally shocked. I couldn't believe it till the body came. And things were not so streamlined that time. It took me some time to accept it, and then I had a 1.5-year-old child at that time. So she also needed the support, and I had a huge responsibility on me. So I think immersing in all those things, carrying out my responsibilities and getting it done, that kept me busy.
Yeah, it's different for serving and it's different for the family of a soldier who is no more. And it's even amongst them, I would say the officers' wives are much better able to handle this. They can call up the CW3 and they get, they get heard and their issue gets sorted much faster.
But I think the challenge of the women that we work with is coming from a social, economical background, which is very different from an officer's wife. And hence they are suddenly put into the focus light, And nowadays, I think there is some sort of, I might be making very controversial statements, but I think I should make it. Because there is a lot of glamorization of losing lives, and it's a systemic problem. Like what Shubhashini was mentioning, the wars itself is questionable. In such a case, this particular sector of women are grieving, and at the same time they are expected to feel proud of losing out their only source of, maybe income or love, affection, all of that. So she's in a dilemma constantly. So suddenly being put in a spotlight and being called a Veer Nari is quite overwhelming, I think, in many of the women I have met. But their capacity and capabilities are still not there in terms of education, in terms of financial knowledge, in terms of emotional maturity to handle all that. So I think the struggle comes from there. It gets passed on to their children also, because the child again is fatherless suddenly. And they are proud in one way because my father has given life to the country, but I am at a loss. You want me to feel proud, but I don't like it. Why did he leave me? Is a question that many of the children have asked, which there are no answers actually, and that is the dilemma.
To survive their great soldier.
What was his flesh, blood, mind, ethos, his entire heritage, his land, everything comprised and empowered.
Namaskara, distinguished guests present here. I have no words to describe I can't explain my feelings to what I saw just now. And hats off to you, Mrs. Shakutla Bhandarkar, for bringing this lovely thing out for all of us to see how much the soldiers have sacrificed for this country. Really, I'm truly moved by this great Kargil Vijay Diwas, and what all I've seen today is so. And I thank you, Mayafilms, Metamorphosis, and Srimati Nazneen Banu, Colonel Trichy, for having me here to share this wonderful journey with you, which is most unforgettable. Thank you, Veer Nadi, Mrs. Shakuntala Bhandarkar. I'm truly proud of you, very proud of you. Thank you.
This is the second screening of Mayafilms that I have watched. The first was Saga of a Braveheart on the life of Braveheart Lieutenant Colonel Ajit Bhandarkar Shaurya Chakra. And today what we saw was Borders Create Widows. A documentary takes us through the lives of Veer Naaris, women who have lost their brave husbands in battle, and the struggles that they have had to cope with, and how they've sort of overcome the tragedy and the trauma, raised their children, and found ways of dealing with life alone.
Yeah, I was really touched and moved by the documentary. Very few people try to connect and understand the issues of the war widows and connect with them and portray them to bring it to the masses, in fact, and it's a really good initiative. I'm thankful to the Mayafilms for taking this initiative to capture those moments, and I would look forward to more such initiatives from their side. So this is really a social initiative, which touches so many people's hearts, and it makes a lot of difference to so many lives.
Hi, I'm Archana Chakravarti, and I'm from Vasant Ratna Foundation, VRF. Just watched the docu-film Saga of the Braveheart by Mayafilms here at NGMA. The strength, the courage that the woman needs to have to bring up her children, play all the roles that are possible, and give all the strength to next of her family, I think it's commendable. I can see the efforts that was gone into making the movie. It must have been very challenging, I assume, and even Maya said that there were almost close to 50 people who had to be kind of streamlined to create a storyline to talk about Colonel Ajit Bhandarkar and his life. And I think Maya and her team have done a great job. We need to do more of this. We need to let the public know more of such stories, true from people who have experienced such brave hearts, and I think it's a great job.
It was totally a mesmerizing film by Mayafilms. It was very nice. Mayafilms, The Braveheart was a wonderful eye-opener for me, especially because we just see in the regular things, in the regular films, but especially the documentary which has been documented.
The way it is done, the way it is portrayed, the concept, more than anything else, if you call it a business, I wouldn't say this. It's the heart that takes really to do something like this. The concept is really touchy, and I think these are the things which should be portrayed much more than anything else.
The movie by Maya Films and the Saga of the Braveheart, excellent movie, and it took me back to my school days and the time I spent with Ajit.
This Braveheart is not just a story, it is a real life one. Once people come across, they really know what is going on the border, how the people sacrifice their life to save us. Hats off to them, honor them, those who brought to us.
I've just come out of a screening of the Saga of Braveheart. The children and the youth of today need to know the sacrifices of the armed forces officers and their families, and I'm sure that it will impact them very positively. If nothing, they will have a lot of patriotism, and this surge of patriotism should be kept alive, and documentaries like this serve the purpose. And it's been an honor to see the life of Colonel Ajit Bhandarkar on screen and to share the stage with Shaku, my very dear friend.
I could sense that everyone in the auditorium was very positively impacted by it. It was very emotional, but in a good way, and I think anyone who would see this documentary would benefit greatly, and they would feel a swell of patriotism. Fantastic documentary, and my hats off to the filmmakers.
From Mayafilms, it's a very beautiful documentary. It was really heart-touching.
And today's session with the Veer Naaris also was an eye-opener. When we don't know a lot of facilities which can reach actually to these widows of the martyrs.
It was, felt really emotional. Really, I don't have words to express how I felt sitting and watching that. Thank you, Mayafilms.